Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It is Monday and it is April. And can we believe that Roman Reigns defeated Undertaker? I just now found out. Okay, so, wow. Uh, I mean, I realized that it was going to happen eventually, but I'm not really understanding the Roman Reigns thing personally. Boy, I don't know. I mean, I would have loved to see Undertaker at least come back for one last match next WrestleMania, maybe against Kurt Angle, or AJ Styles, or even Cena personally. But the way it's looking right now, that's just not gonna happen. Um, as we can tell from everything that's happened in the last 24 hours, with obviously the hat, trench coat, and gloves, which pretty much made Undertaker who he is. So, um, where do we go from here, honestly, as fans? We pretty much saw the retirement of The Undertaker last night. Um, as a longtime fan, boy, it's hard to take in because I mean, I don't really like Roman Reigns. I never have. I don't think he's even really that talented. I mean, I would have thought WWE would have made their decision to have him wrestle like Kurt Angle and retire, or somebody who actually meant something to the company, not some random dude that I don't know. Like, I mean, this just kind of proves my point that Vince McMahon is completely clueless. Um, and he just, I don't know, like, he just doesn't really listen to the fans and what they want. I mean, I guarantee that there's lots of people waking up this morning and realizing that we could possibly never see The Undertaker wrestle a match ever again. And the last match that he had would be against Roman Reigns. And that's that is just total and complete bullshit. Um, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Roman Reigns didn't deserve that. To have that push like that and beat the Undertaker. Um, Now, if it was somebody else, like I mean, like let's say Finn Balor, um, I mean even Seth Rollins, somebody who actually deserves it. God damn it. I'm sorry I used that word there, but I'm just really peed off right now because you. I mean, if you did this to the Undertaker, um, I mean, it's kind of like the situation um, that happened. I mean, when he lost to Brock Lesnar, I mean, nobody really thought in a million years he would ever lose to Brock Lesnar. So, but I have to admit that I did see some highlights from the match. He pretty much was looking not so good. I mean, he was looking pretty bad. Um, it's just sad because I mean, I've been a fan of Undertaker my whole entire life as a wrestling fan, and this is just a shame. Um, and I don't know. I mean, I really hope that they'll at least induct him into the Hall of Fame next year because I think he deserves it. I mean, he's worked his whole entire life, and this is the last match that he has, and you have him lose to Roman Reigns. Like, that to me makes no sense whatsoever on so many levels because what has Roman Reigns done to deserve that win over an iconic wrestler like I mean the Phenom, for God's sakes. This is the Undertaker we're talking about. the main attraction of WrestleMania for 10 years, possibly longer than that. I mean, we didn't get the opportunity, to see Shawn Michaels wrestle another match. I mean, yes, we have like Triple H still around and stuff from the Attitude Era, but we'll probably never get to see Stone Cold Steve Austin wrestle again. We'll probably never get to see Sting wrestle again. Um, this is just a travesty. I just don't see why this works in any point of view as a wrestling fan. Roman Reigns is garbage. He has three moves, like I said. Um, Superman punch, spear, and drive by. But yet you give him that win against Undertaker, and frankly, what the hell has he done to deserve something like that? Um, I've never been a Roman Reigns fan. I think he's garbage. I don't know. I just don't think he's a talented wrestler. He has three moves. Three moves. Come on, guys. Three moves. Oh my god. Um I mean, that was probably the most lowest point for WrestleMania that I've honestly ever witnessed, other than him losing to Brock Lesnar. Like, I'm like, what? Does this help the company in any form of way? Not necessarily, no, because one of your iconic figures who helped build your company is now, pretty much gonna retire because you weren't really willing to work with him to have him, go up against somebody who actually deserved to wrestle him at WrestleMania, not Roman Reigns. I mean, I don't really even think, from my opinion of watching the highlights from the match, that it was really even that entertaining of a match, honestly, because, I mean, it just looked like Undertaker was his age. He couldn't really perform the way that he had in previous WrestleManias. Um, that's why I think it would have been better if you guys would have had him go, against somebody like Kurt Angle, Triple H, even if The Rock would have came back and done a match against Undertaker. Like that to me would have made more sense. Randy Orton, for God's sakes. Even Shawn Michaels. I mean, have Shawn Michaels come back for one match and have him fight Undertaker and then retire him. Like, that makes more sense, okay? That makes total sense. But not frickin' Roman Reigns. I mean, what has Roman Reigns done in the last month that he would would just be given that? Now, I understand Vince is, he wants to push Roman Reigns and he's all about Reigns and whatever, man. I mean, but as a fan, you got to just realize now that because you just forced the Undertaker to retire, you are going to be booed every arena now. Nobody is going to be cheering you. Everybody is going to be booing you in every match. They're going to end up pretty much hating you for the rest of your wrestling career. Oh my god, this is just bad. Um so let's get into my five things that I thought were good about WrestleMania. I know I've been going on and on about Undertaker, but as a fan, it just baffles me. Why was Reigns given this opportunity? I just don't get it. I think he sucks, but that's just my opinion. Um, the five things though that I think were incredible highlights, positive notes for WrestleMania. I think that the attendance was a big positive because it showed that they can have outdoor venues and sell them out, and like WrestleMania, um, it just brings in all different types of people. There's lots of celebrities that were involved. Um, let's think here. I think the championship matches were pretty well planned out. I thought the non-sanctioned match between Triple H and Seth Rollins, where that was a very very good note for the company going forward. Um, and I think that the women's division really excelled in this pay per view. I think that they have a bright, bright future with all the talent that they have. Plus, with the veterans that are going to be involved in the division, I think that that's great. Um, I even think that the United States Championship match, I believe that should honestly be one of the matches of the year. If they ever want to do like a collection or something, I think that that should be on there. And I think the women's championship match for Raw should be on there too from WrestleMania. I think that match is very, very good. Um, the Intercontinental Championship match was very great. Lots of different things happen throughout the match, and let's be honest, Ambrose is one of the best talents that SmackDown Live has right now. They should really push him and develop his career from here, and maybe even give him another run at the championship. I think that that should be a pretty good rivalry between him and Randy Orton. um, I think that Bray Wyatt showed that, especially tonight at WrestleMania, that he has the potential to be a high main eventer for SmackDown Live if they choose to use him. Um, I mean, I realize that the Wyatt family are not a thing anymore, but I would think that with the young talent that SmackDown has, they should be able to possibly even form a new Wyatt family with my idea honestly would be the Ascension, um, and Wyatt and Harper or Rowan. Actually, probably Eric Rowan. I don't think Harper would go back to the Wyatt family. But Eric Rowan, I absolutely think him and the Ascension and Bray Wyatt, I think would be one hell of a faction as the Wyatt family if they choose to redo it. I would say go for it personally. SmackDown needs it. Um, a high note with the AJ Styles match was we've been so wrong about the capabilities of Shane McMahon as a professional wrestler. This guy has got it. He is well trained. He understands how to do counters, how to take high risk. I mean, the guy just battered and bruised his body throughout that whole entire match. He really put on a show. Um, and let's talk about Styles. Styles is, like I keep saying to everybody, is the best wrestler on the planet right now. The guy can go. He can work the ring. He understands how to, you know, work big matches. Um, I absolutely think that he should be in a rivalry with Bray Wyatt for the championship. There's no doubt in my mind. In fact, I think he could be in a champion again. I think he deserves another shot at the belt. Personally, I think that that would be a great match to have if SmackDown is very smart about it. Um, Now, I think the Brock Lesnar Goldberg match was very solid. I think that we had some interesting things throughout the match. I think the spear Goldberg did to Lesnar through the barricade, that was pretty freaking sweet. Um, I think Lesnar was on top of his game in this match. I mean, we're talking about like six straight suplexes, suplex city. We definitely went there like 6 times throughout that match. Lesnar looked pretty good. I got to be honest. I wasn't too thrilled that he was going to get that opportunity at Goldberg. I really thought that we were going to get like Finn Balor versus Goldberg or something like that, but we didn't really get it. Um, so I would say overall, this is a big WrestleMania for going forward as the company, in the next 2 years. Um, I mean, you have all this talent that they're going to be calling up as well. I mean, obviously Eric Young, Bobby Roode, Drew McIntyre will probably be on the main roster again. Um, but I just think that they need to develop the talent that they have in NXT too, because there's so many, so much going on there. And William Regal has done such a great job with NXT, and I think that they should never give somebody else that job. He's just good at it. Um, there are some suggestions that I think that would benefit them next year for WrestleMania. Like I said in the last video, I think that um, organize, plan, build the storylines more, um, and we don't always have to have um, you know long drawn out interviews. I thought the interviews were kind of drawn out, especially during the pre-show. I felt like they just kept going on and on and on about things that really didn't have anything to do with the matches, like some of the jokes that they were making and stuff like that. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I trust me. I think this WrestleMania was good. I think it's an 8.5. I even think it possibly might be better than last year's. But next year is back in New Orleans, so my theory is Daniel Bryan will be back at some point or another to wrestle a last match. Now, my suggestion is either he fights John Cena, or he fights The Miz, or Dean Ambrose, or even Shane McMahon, honestly. I think that could be an interesting match. Daniel Bryan versus Shane for total control of SmackDown. That could be an interesting, storyline you could develop. Um, I don't know. I mean, I just think that next year they need to really have better storylines developing before WrestleMania with all the matches. And I just hope that Big Show is not going to retire, or Undertaker. I would like to see them um, at some point still involved in WrestleMania. Um, plus Mark Henry as well. I think he's retiring too. So those are just a few people that I think, and I think that are big parts of WrestleMania and have been, and I just don't want to see them completely go away. I think that the fans would still like to be able, to see them, even if they're not even if they're not involved in matches, but if they're just, there, maybe on commentary or something like that during matches. Um, Oh yeah, and that's the other thing I wanted to talk about too. How did you guys feel about Jerry the King Lawler doing some commentary during the Miz and Maurice and Nucky Bella and Cena match? Um, which I don't know. That match was okay. I just thought there could have been more, things going on during the match. But and here's the thing too, with John Cena doing all these movies and stuff, we might not even see John Cena till next WrestleMania. He's gonna be filming like 3 movies, um, so we might not even see him honestly for months. So and then, what do you think about the Battle Royal? Should they keep it? Should they get rid of it? This year's I thought was pretty good. There was a lot of different surprises throughout that match, but we still didn't get Shaq. Shaq, I mean, that was just a whole entire big shame because um, Shaq should have been wrestling Big Show during this whole entire WrestleMania. I think that would have worked great because it was in Orlando, for God's sakes. Um, Other than that, I think that this was a solid WrestleMania. they just need to develop the storyline and characters a little bit more. Um, but really happy Rollins won. Finally, somebody um, did something to Triple H that he'll remember, honestly. Um, and so, but this is part two of WrestleMania 33 showcase. I just wanted to go a little bit into details about a few things and a few suggestions for next year for WrestleMania in New Orleans. New Orleans. And which I think is going to be a great experience. I think New Orleans is going to put one hell of a show next year. I think for WrestleMania. So, but thank you Orlando for hosting WrestleMania. I think you guys did a great job. From what I was hearing, it sounds like there was so much to do. Great job, guys. Um, and this is Drizzleland. This is WrestleMania 33 Part 2. Everybody have a wonderful day.